Yes, my friends. 4 o'clock on a Monday. Let's do Real or Mirage.
Usually
Monday
we start
Mirages.
with sports ones here for Monday Mirage, so I'm going to do one off the head. Real or Mirage, why do you sit like this? There are times where Levack is wearing a jacket. It's a really nice jacket. It's a Mohawk Honda jacket. But Levack will put the jacket over his knees like a child at a Little League game who's really cold. Why are you sitting like that?
At first, it was because I was cold at an event that I only had shorts on when we were outside. But then I realized how much it bothers you. So I just do it.
You have jeans on. There's no reason to sit like that.
I literally do this just to bother you.
Real or Mirage here, the first one. Geno Smith is done with the New York Jets. Real or Mirage?
Real. Couldn't be more real. So really real. I was shocked he got back on the field this year at all. But with the torn ACL, he's done for this year. It is time to get rid of him. It is time to move on. You've got 2 young quarterbacks. I think Fitz is gone next year. I'm looking for somebody, anybody, to bridge the gap between now and probably a year from now when either Petty and Hackenberg are ready.
I'm going real, but there is a small part of me that just thinks something's up here with the Geno Smith and Jets organization. I get it. He should be gone. He hasn't done anything to prove that he should be a quality starting quarterback in the NFL, even a good backup quarterback. He's done nothing in his career to prove that. But somebody in that organization of the Jets loves Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Whether it's the GM, whether it's Woody Johnson, the owner, somebody there loves Smith. They have 4 quarterbacks still on the roster.
Yeah.
Geno Smith may have taken over for Ryan Fitzpatrick a little quicker than some Jets fans thought was going to happen. I would say no. There's no need to bring him back. But would I be blown away and stunned? But for some reason, they signed him to a 1-year deal because they still don't believe at that point next year that Petty and Hackenberg aren't ready to go and they think Geno could be a better quarterback. I think there's a small possibility. I'm going to go with real. It makes more sense that the Jets and Geno Smith break off.
I'll take it a step farther.
Something weird about
Not only is Geno done, not only is Fitz done, next year's starting quarterback in the New York Jets is not on their roster right now.
So you're talking about a guy they either pick up in the NFL draft or
I think they grab a
move
veteran.
for.
They'll grab a veteran.
Real or Mirage here, number 2, injuries was the main reason why the Bills lost to the Miami Dolphins. Real or Mirage?
That's tough. I think I know where you're going to go with this one. I'm going to go Mirage, and it's nothing against the Bills. I think that you play Miami in Miami, a divisional game. They finally got their offensive line right. Jay is running like nobody's business and having a great time of it. I think that they were set to win that game. I think Miami, the stars aligned for Miami to win that game. Are they better than Buffalo? No. If you play that game in Buffalo, does Buffalo win? Yes. But I'm going to say it was the Bills were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I'm going with real for everybody across the board. Robert Woods, Sammy Watkins, less than healthy with Sean McCoy. Eventually, they're going to catch up to you.
Right.
They've done a great job piecing it together. The fact that they won 4 games in a row with an offensive coordinator who hadn't called plays in over a decade. Without Sammy Watkins, Marcel Darius, they did a great job. But finally, this is the NFL. It's going to catch up to you. And Miami is now healthy on that offensive line for just the second time. And both times they've been healthy, they've had an over 200-yard rusher back-to-back times. Miami's good and healthy. It shows. Buffalo's not. Divisional matchup. Bills win that game if they get everybody out there. They're a better team right now than Miami when they have the players ready to go.
I mean, but again, no, look at that Miami team now that the offensive line is in place.
Yeah.
That offensive line is scary good. I mean, Pouncey was making blocks downfield in yesterday's game that I haven't seen him do. And I can't tell. Probably back when Richie Incognito was on the line.
Pouncey and Tunsil together, that could be a unit that doesn't move for 5-6 years if Miami can still afford him if they continue to play like this.
For a guy who's, my love of the Giants is secondary to my love of the Raiders. I'm going to be, on my deathbed. Tunsil should have been a Giant. If Jerry, that's, I gotta be honest. If I'm John Mara and Steve Tisch, I'm bringing Jerry Reese into the office at the end of this year after I watch Tunsil and go, this is why you're fired. You're inability. We love Eli. He's a good kid, even though his mom's talking smack about us. You could have had a Pro Bowl tackle. With what, the 10th pick or whatever the heck it was?
Top 10 pick. And he was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick if the Rams and Eagles don't trade up.
And if I'm Mara too, I'm as long as he doesn't get caught, he can gas mask away. I don't care. Go to Europe. Go to Amsterdam. Do whatever you want to do. I'll buy him a plane ticket.
When you bring up the NFL draft, we'll go here or there for 3. The team who had the number 1 pick was the Los Angeles Rams. Real or Mirage, the Rams should start Jared Goff.
Real.
Oh,
real. You say this more than I do. It's time to see what you got. Like, Case Keenum. Look, I know it's not all his fault. There were tip balls. There was this, that. Case Keenum's name, if you look him up in the dictionary, it says suitable backup next to his name. He's not starting quarterback in the NFL. You drafted the LA kid, throw him to the wolves, see what you got. That's long and the short of it. Let's see what we got in this kid. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback, and I think they're going to have to draft another one. But I would rather know that right now and get into my season than not. And the fact that Fisher is so gung-ho behind Keenum tells me Jared Goff's a bad quarterback, and that his life as a starting quarterback for the LA Rams will be a short one.
As much as I've had to defend Jared Goff, this is Mirage, and it's interesting you bring up that point because I wonder if it was the ownership group and management that forced Goff onto Fisher. That they said, we need this big splash to make. We need people excited. We'll go get a California kid to be the number 1 overall pick, and Fisher really didn't want him. Case Keenum overall, he should continue to be the starter. 4 interceptions, 4 turnovers, but 2 of those balls were tipped. The other one was the wrong route run by the wide receiver. It's not been all of his fault. And how about the Rams right now? 4 games decided by 3 points or fewer. They've just been unlucky in their last 4 games. They're right there, consecutive losses. They're being competitive. Keenum sometimes is the reason he's had a 300-yard game this season. Other times he's terrible. But if they wanted to have Jared Goff out there, as much as I don't like to admit this, he'd be out there. He would have beat out.
Are you saying that if you knew what you know now, you would have taken Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott over Jared Goff with the first pick?
No.
Oh, my God. I thought you made sense for a
once
second.
Jared Goff actually plays, then I will make that decision. I have nothing to base that off of. But Case Keenum has been better than him in practice. He's been better than him in the games, preseason, all that. He's earned the job.
Let's do the list of quarterbacks Case Keenum is better than.
Sean Mannion,
Jared Goff.
Real or Mirage here for number 4. Arizona-Seattle will be the last tie in NFL history.
Mirage. They're not going to get this right. The argument they're going to use, the NFL is going to hide behind the, if we continue games on too long, fatigue will become a factor and people will get hurt. You get hurt playing football. You know what I mean? I would rather get hurt in a win than hurt in a tie. If I'm out there and I make the last play of my career is, sudden death overtime, I catch a football and my knee gets broken, I'd be okay with it as opposed to, when you got hurt in the first quarter of that game and your career was over? Yeah, that was a tie. Like, come on, man. It's the NFL. It's, anybody can beat anybody on any given Sunday. Not anybody can tie anybody on any given Sunday.
I can see the opposite of the NFL. I also think it's Mirage as well. They're going to continue to have a tie. They put in a rule that says if you kick a field goal, the other team can at least possess the ball and try to tie the game or win the game with a touchdown. So they have altered the rules to make overtime more exciting. And the thought was, okay, we can extend the game because now the team just can't score and get off the field. So their mindset was like, hey, this will be more entertaining, more football, more excitement.
Right.
I don't know if the rules actually done anything to make it more entertaining, more exciting. If it is an overtime game, in most situations, it's been bad football throughout because no one's been good enough to win the game unless it's a magical comeback. It's going to be ties.
And that game, 6-6 tie, half the points of the game were scored in overtime.
Ugh. 2 more here for Monday Mirage. Is Real Mirage. The Cubs season is a success even if they lose in the World Series.
That's a mirage. There's nothing. The Cubs are never going to have a successful season again until they win the World Series. That's the only. When you are the last remaining curse, when you're the longest drought in the World Series, Boston put the pressure on you. They got it done. The Cubbies have to win the World Series. If they let's say that this team propels them to win the World Series next year, everybody's going to go, that team was so close to good. Too bad they weren't good enough.
I would have said all of those things. I would have 100% agreed with you until I watched the celebrations. And I'm actually going to go with Real here. And here's why. Cubs fans had not even watched a World Series game since the 1940s. That alone seemed like a success. There were grown men crying because they got to the World Series. And I'm sitting here thinking, either there's something wrong with my television or these people just love the idea of your team finally getting there. It's been so long, it feels like they've already won because they've gotten to the World Series. Now, get to the favorite, and it's been 108
Spoken
years
like an
since the
Orioles
title,
fan.
but all of those things, believe it or not, yes, this is a success. Cubs fans are happy they just got this far because it rarely has ever happened in their franchise's history.
No, this is like if you get this year, I think this year above any other that I've ever seen the Cubs, and I've been on this earth for 40 years. This year it is win or bust. It is absolutely win or bust. If they don't get this done, they're never going to forgive themselves because they're so good.
Last one here. This is somehow become a staple of Monday Mirage is because it's so tough to figure out. Real or Mirage, the Minnesota Vikings are the second best team in the NFL.
Oh man, they just got handled by the Eagles.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Mirage. Kind of for the reason you were talking about with the Bills, where just the injuries catch up to you eventually. You lost your first round quarterback. You lost your all-time great running back. Your wide receiver core is not good. Defense is phenomenal. I think New England's still the best. Steelers, I think when they get Ben back, will be in there, but I'll take them out for now. I think Dallas is better than the Vikings.
Me too. I'm going Mirage too, and I'm thinking Dallas is now the second best team in the NFL with a rookie quarterback, a rookie running back. Des Bryant scheduled to come back this weekend. Look, they're better at wide receiver than the Vikings. They're better at running back as Peterson's hurt. They're a better quarter. They are a better team. The offensive line's better, and they're doing it with rookies. It's unbelievable that Dallas is at 5-1 and are now talked as being only the Patriots being better than them.
So we agree?
We actually agree on that one, yeah.
All right, that's crazy.